That's funny. Do I still have it?
What up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. She is a six-time women's world champion in the WWE, Grand Slam winner, CBS Sports 2018 Wrestler of the Year. And no, I'm not talking about Roux. I'm talking about the woman who faces Rhea Ripley for the women's world title at WrestleMania 40 this weekend. A new memoir on the way as well. Becky Lynch, how's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me. And
Thank you
Rue.
so much for being. Yes, of course. No, this is a family show. I love that she's here. And it ties in perfectly because I know we have this very personal feud with Rhea Ripley, but there is another rival that I wanted to start with. What exactly did Peppa Pig do to Rue to drive her so crazy?
I mean, it's what she did to me. It's what she did to me. Yeah. Um, uh, Peppa Pig. She's a little bit. She's mean, man. She's mean, and she's mean to everybody. Like she's mean to her dad, and she's mean to her friends. And I'm not about that. I'm not about that life. And she was watching Peppa Pig, and she suddenly started to be a little bit harsh, a little bit rough around the edges. And I like being rough around the edges, but like not for a 3-year-old, you know. She's just so we got rid of Peppa Pig, and already she just turned a corner.
Okay. So we're not going to see that cross. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. For me in Canada, Caillou was the thing growing up, and he's such a petulant, whiny child, and he's
Oh
like not
wow.
a good influence.
She loves Caillou. She
Is
loves
Caillou
Caillou.
behaving these days?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. She really likes
Well, I'm
it.
glad.
But I'll
Well,
monitor.
I'm glad to
I'll
see.
monitor. I'll monitor.
Okay, keep an eye out. Maybe he's
Yeah.
grown up. I don't know. I'm shocked that he's still doing his thing, but
Well, she, you know, she's found it, but it might end up being a handicap match, me versus Peppa Pig and Caillou.
no, I always put out a fan Q&A just to sort of see what the people want to know. And one of the things I actually saw a lot of uh, sort of interest swell behind is the role that you've sort of played as a mother who can still succeed at the top level of our industry. And it's something that a lot of your fans have found really inspiring. How does it make you feel knowing that, you're setting an example that other people want to live by?
It's amazing. It's amazing because you know when I was coming up, like I remember meeting Mickey James, and Mickey James had left and she had a kid, and then she came back and she was on the road. And I remember like asking her all about it, like how do you do it? Because I'd never seen anybody go from being on the top of their game to leaving, having a kid, and coming back in WWE. Now, when Mickey James came in, she had already had the kid. And so I wanted to know if it was possible. And there was no other way to figure out if it was possible than to do it. And so, for better or worse, it became the crash test dummy in that regard, and came back full time. Didn't like take an easier schedule or anything like that. Wanted to be able to balance both. And now we're lucky that we're in a very good position that we were able to do both. But but I did it, and now I see that more women feel comfortable in
Mhm.
that in that they feel like they can be mothers if that's what they want. They don't have to choose between the two. Like if you want to go and have a child and never come back, then that's your prerogative, and you can do that too, because it is hard to balance the two. But I couldn't accept that I couldn't get to have both
Mhm.
in my life, that I'd have to choose one or the other. And I've gotten to have both, and it's amazing, and it's incredibly rewarding. And is it tough at times? Absolutely. But does it put things into perspective? Absolutely. And so I think in many ways, it makes work sometimes more enjoyable, because one, it's your you time. It's that reminder of who you were before. Because when you're a mother and you're a parent, you change. Your whole world changes. And so it's nice to have that little bit of yourself that you had before. And then you just, because if anything ever happens to your kid, or you're worried about a child, that's like far different than the petty grievances of worrying about creative,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah,
So it puts that in perspective too. So work actually becomes way more enjoyable. So it's only been a benefit, it in my lifestyle. It's been great.
I love to hear that, and that's that's a good reminder for myself and the missus as we start sort of taking that traveling down that avenue ourselves. Um, you mentioned sort of the relief it gives you creatively as a performer. A lot of this build to WrestleMania 40 has sort of been, does Becky still have it? Can she compete with someone who's on the dominant role that Rhea Ripley is on? I mean, we just saw her outlast Nia Jax in that last woman standing match. As a performer going into WrestleMania 40, what opportunity, like, what do you think there is for you to prove having accomplished so much already?
Um, that's funny. Do I still have it? That damn straight I have it. I am it, being
There
it.
we go, Becky.
Don't need a championship to prove I'm it. It's that she is dominant. She's the golden girl, right? Like she's the golden girl of yesteryear. Like the let's put a rocket on her back, send her to the moon. And look, she is good. She's got that particular presence about her, but she's been protected. I have never, ever, ever once been seen as that person that let's strap a rocket to them and just let them go. I worked for it. I earned it. I fought my way to it, and 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 once I got there, then I just didn't want to let it go, and I constantly fight for it. And I think she tends to take the easy way out. Like she's not on all the live. She's not doing the schedule that I am. She's not doing the media that I am. She's not wrestling like I am. And so I planted that seed. I said you might be better than me, but I need to prove that you're not. And and in the last few weeks, what am I talking about? The last few years, when I've had banger after banger, I've been the heartbeat, the pulse of the women's division. I've been the one that's
Mm.
been moving it forward. She's been hovering around in little backstages in the back, just talking to some lads, holding the championship. I've been the one doing the hard work. So anybody who doesn't recognize that I am it, that I am the one. And you know what I said? Maybe, but now I'm starting to wonder if she needs to prove herself to me. Like she needs to prove herself worthy of me. Because, like I think at one stage she said, like, finally you've won something worthy of. I'm like, what are you talking? Now you're just talking stupid because I'm the first woman to win the main event of WrestleMania. I've won every single match there is to win in WWE. I've won every championship there is to win in WWE. I continue to break down barriers, to break through glass ceilings, all while being a mother, all while being a best-selling author. What the hell are you talking about? Worthy of being in there with you? What? What? Get out of town. Get out of town. If I quit tomorrow, I am still the greatest woman to have ever done it. But I'm not quitting tomorrow. I have a WrestleMania match that needs to happen in a few weeks, and that's going to happen. And then I'm going to take that title from her. Do I need to prove that I still have it? Okay, good. I did plant that seed of doubt. That seed grew into a tree. But what's great is that when people believe in me, I'm good. But when people doubt me, I am great. In fact, I'm not just great, I am an unstoppable monster.
Becky, not only did you just amp me up, but I love that you still managed to fit in room for Becky Lynch, the man, not your average girl. That
We
woman of
do
many
it
talents
all.
here.
We do it
Yes.
all. We do it all. Can
Um.
Rhea Ripley do it all? Can she write a best-selling book?
Hey, on that note, what's the wildest party memory you remember throwing at your parents' house?
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, it was one where my friends of friends invited people, and then there was just these hooligans in my house, and they
Mm.
started like burning stuff onto the furniture. I was like, "What are you doing? Get the hell out of here!" Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
Yeah,
My mom's gonna hear about this. I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry. I don't think we still have that table.
Yeah, I remember one of my childhood friends, it was like my best friend's younger sister, asked me if I'd help her throw a party while her mom was out of town. And I'm like, no, but I'll convince her to let you have the party. And we ended up having to like,
Wow, you were a
we
good
ended up,
kid.
yeah, yeah, on and off, on and off. But we ended up we said we'd stay there to supervise, and we ended up having to like with like my buddy bought his police batons. We had to like round up like 40 kids and start like pushing them down the neighborhood because they started like breaking window. Yeah. Sorry. I appreciate you very much, ma'am. When we look at WrestleMania, it's such a high stakes environment for so many superstars. Just looking at this year's show, Seth almost missed it out due to a knee injury, and now he's headlining 2 nights of the dang thing. Cody Rhodes looking to finish his story. Drew McIntyre feeling sort of unfulfilled by the run that he had during the pandemic. You seem to be like oozing with confidence right now, but I'm curious if it ever existed. What's sort of like the lowest you felt heading into a road to WrestleMania, or like what was the most sort of intrusive thought that you've had to sort of push out?
I mean, I went from being on the pre-show to being the main event of WrestleMania. So it wasn't even on the WrestleMania card in WrestleMania 34, so probably that. Like I do remember just trying to make the most of it and trying to talk myself out of it. No, it's all fine. And but you want to be on the main card. You want to be the main event. You want to be doing the big things. You don't want to just be on the pre-show where the audience is still filing in, and that's where I was. So probably that.
Okay. If I were to sort of, I'll let you sort of set the parameters here, but if you were able to share like one story from the memoir to really sell people, can you give me like the Sparks notes?
Gosh, I think my favorite parts of it are talking about my husband and talking about the origins of that relationship. I think they're the most heartwarming and entertaining and fun parts of the book. So I hope people will enjoy that.
Hey, now I know he didn't end up sharing it on Hot Ones, but have you read his poetry? And if so, can you rate it for me on a scale
No,
of 1 to 10?
I haven't.
Never.
I have not read his
Oh.
poetry. Yeah, I'm looking at
Are you
you.
looking at him right now?
I'm looking at you. Am I ever going to read your poetry? Oh, really? Oh, apparently his mom has his old stuff.
Oh, well, didn't he have one on his notepad?
Yeah, I mean, you
His
have some
phone?
on your phone. I'm talking about stuff that I'm involved in. Oh, he said maybe if I want him to, I would love you to read me some.
Oh, look at that. Well, you know, I'll take an assist there for boosting the relationship even more than it already has
Oh,
been
thank you,
between the
thank
two of
you.
you. Look at that. Okay,
That's
well, next
very
time
nice.
I talk to you, hopefully you can tell me how his poetry stands up to his wrestling. Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a 10, just knowing him and the thinker that he is and the wordsmith that he is.
Now you can also lean on Seth for this answer if he's still in the room. What's the weirdest place you found chocolate stashed?
Oh God, I don't know. I have it all over the place. Like I have it in bars or in drawers. I have it in pockets. I have it in shelves. Yeah, I've got
Is this
chocolate all over
is this
in
intentional, or do you just
bags.
like have so much on you that you forget?
Well, I just always have to have chocolate on me at any point. I think it's always the worst when I've left it in like a pocket and then I've washed the pants or
Oh
they've
no.
melted or stuff like that. That's always the worst.
Okay. As we hit the like last minute of it here, I know I gotta let you go, Becky. Why did you rewrite the memoir during your NXT stint?
Because I didn't think it was good enough. I didn't think that it was at the point where I was excited for people to read it. I didn't think that it was a page turner, and I wanted when people picked it up to not want to put it down. And I've gotten to that point, or at least I'm
Uh,
told. I enjoy reading it.
I love it. Well, I'm sure the feedback is evidence enough. Any thoughts on your fellow horsewoman Sasha Banks Mercedes' recent debut?
Good for her. Go on, do your thing, and um, have a good time over there. Maybe one day we'll meet back in the ring.
I bet we will. I bet we will. And the last thing, this was the most requested fan question of all. What is your favorite episode of Father Ted?
Oh my goodness, the Lovely Girls competition.
This means nothing to me, but I
What?
hope that I'm
Oh my
from
God.
Vancouver, Canada, of
Oh,
Persian descent. If you want to fill
oh,
me in, I will gladly seek it out.
so great. I love that that was the most asked question. Yeah. Yeah, the Lovely Girls competition. Great. Great episode.
Well, the ones who know, and I'm glad I could do that for them. Becky, I want to leave you with the last words. So I'll do my part very quick. Thanks so much, everyone, for checking out the video. Please subscribe, thumbs up, tap the bell, all that good stuff. Give us your prediction for Becky versus Rhea, women's world title match at WrestleMania 40, April 6th, April 7th. Pick up the memoir. Let us know if you've read it already. What is your favorite story? How bad were those parties? Should her parents be upset with her? Full feature at cbssports.com. Becky, if there's anything you want to tell the people, the floor is yours.
No, the only thing that I want to tell people is go buy the book, The Man Not Your Average Girl, wherever you buy books. And yes, please do let me know what you think of it. I'm very excited to hear, to get all the feedback on what people like about it, don't like about it, are indifferent to. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. I think you'll love it.